Welcome back to Stooge Stream for another episode. I am your host, the Stooge, and today we're going to look at some PSP hidden gems. I just got a couple of new PSP games actually. You can see Valhalla Knights running on the console right now. Also got Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, I believe it's called. So I'm going to be checking them out over the next couple of days. And that got me to thinking how much I love my PSP. I have a huge collection, about 115 odd PSP games. And there's some great hidden gems on the console that if you're starting to collect for the PSP or you just haven't gotten around to getting them, you really should add them to your collection. So let's start off with a series that I believe was exclusive to the PSP and in my opinion, an underrated game series that really should be looked at by everyone, and that's the Coded Arms games. Now, these are first-person shooter games on the PSP, made by Konami, back when Konami was actually decent. The control is a little bit awkward, takes a little while to get used to. The analog stick is your movement, the directional buttons are actually your move your gun, I guess, in your first person view. And then your right trigger is your shoot, left trigger is reload, or one of them, maybe one of these is reload, I can't remember. But once you get used to the controls, it's a mix of RPG, action, first person shooting. On the PSP, looks fantastic. Like visually, it's actually an interesting style that they chose that looks really good on the console and well worth your time playing. I think the Coded Arms games, as I said, are very underrated and really should be checked out. Another game that was a port to the PSP and kind of was its own thing at the same time, but they did port a lot of the game over and kind of change it a little bit so it was a lot more accessible on the console. Now, obviously, if you own this on another console, which I do, I own it on multiple consoles, probably not the best version to play, but if you're a PSP collector, it is a lot of fun, and I'm talking about Gun. So, Gun Showdown for the PSP. I don't bother taking stickers off my stuff. Lots of fun. It's just a really good action game on the console. It works really well. Well worth checking out and well worth your time. A puzzle game that made its way to the PSP originally started on the Wonderswan, named after the Wonderswan, an original Game Boy's creator, Gunpei, and I forget his surname, but that gives what the game away is. It's a great puzzle game by the name of Gunpei. So this is about creating lines. It's very addictive in nature. It's just a really well-made puzzle game. If you like the Tetris-style games, if you like the column-style games, if you like games that you may not be able to put down because they will really hook the crap out of you, then this is the game for you. It's very cheap, it's very easy to find, and it's very much worth it. It is a fantastically fun game. Put that one down. Next up, there was a lot of fighting games on the PSP, a lot for me to choose from. The Neo Geo Battle Archives, the Street Fighter 3 Max, I believe it was called. I've got it on the shelf somewhere, but I chose something a little bit different because this was a great anthology of games that works really well on the PSP as well, and you'd be surprised at how well fighting games do work on the console, and that is the Samurai Showdown Anthology by SNK Playmore. It's actually the first 6 games, or all 6 I think, games in the Samurai Showdown series. Great fighting games. You can start from the beginning with one, work your way through, learn all the new characters, or just go straight to the best one in the series, which is possibly 5. I don't know, that could be contentious. I know people like the ones that they like. I like 5. I think 5 is really good. So, really good fighting game series and great value for money. 6 games on 1 UMD and 6 great fighting games. Another collection, because for some reason I can't seem to stay away from really good collections, and this one is a fantastic must-have shoot-'em-up collection for your PSP, and that is the Gradius Collection. It's got the first, there's actually more now, so the first 5 Gradius games. This is a great collection. Another one by Konami. Konami's getting well represented today with Coat of Arms and this. But so much fun. If you like shooters, then obviously you know what Gradius is already. And having the first 5 Gradius games in your hands, what more do you need to know? What more do you need to know? You need to buy that collection. And lastly, I wanted to represent RPGs. Now, there is a stack of RPGs, and I'm sure in future episodes I'll be covering different RPGs. And as you can see, Valhalla Knights is running on my console right now, which I'll be playing as soon as I'm done with this. But I thought I'd go with something a little less well represented. Now, you've got the Final Fantasies, you've got Breath of Fire, you've got an Ease on there, you've got a whole bunch of fantastic RPGs. There's a few dungeon crawlers as well, and this was a really early release and a game that I played the crap out of. There's 2 in the series, and definitely worth getting if you like the dungeon crawly Diablo style, Baldur's Gate style RPGs, and Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade is so much fun. Now, the PS3 version that they made of this game was absolutely terrible. It just didn't work, but the PSP ones were really good and well worth checking out. There's some great replay value in it. It's just a huge game as well. It's a really huge game. And when you finish it, you can go into the, quote unquote, New Game Plus mode. When you start again, you've got all your weapons and items and stuff. But it's a lot harder, a la Diablo and Baldur's Gate and that type of thing. This, again, is another fantastic title that's not very expensive. So Gunpei, Untold Legends, and the Coat of Arms games and Gun, really cheap. Samurai Showdown and Gradius, they can cost you a little bit, but the cost is offset by the fact that you get so much on that UMD and so much value for your money. So this is the first, because I'm sure we'll be coming back to some more unknown hidden gem first day buy PSP games in the future. Hope you enjoyed this. What are your favorite PSP games? What are the ones that people don't really talk about too much? Let me know in the comments below. I always like to hear from you guys and know what's in your collection that maybe I don't have, or vice versa. Let's chat. Comment below. Until next time, though, don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.